The next decision to be made in the Ripple versus the SEC case is now apparently up to Judge Torres. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what the SEC just filed with some of the redacted pieces of information that they don't want coming out, and Judge Torres is going to have to figure out what she thinks should be remaining sealed and what should become public. And I'll tell you the ridiculous reason that the SEC actually wants this sealed. Also, in the Celsius saga, we are now looking at 4 different states that are investigating the program. I have more information about what Celsius says it's doing. And we're going to take a look at some cryptocurrencies, including Solana and XRP and Bitcoin, and how they've been holding up recently. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, we are of course covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, but I'm also covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Late Night Grind community. Also, if you do 2 things, I'd really appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. Those are the 2 best things you can do to support a YouTube channel. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Okay, so first, let's talk about what's going on with Celsius. As you may or may not know, Celsius, the blockchain company that has been promising, well, close to 20% APY for staking on its network, is facing a solvency issue. Meaning during the recent drawdown of cryptocurrencies, people were running to Celsius to take out their tokens. Well, that's known as a bank run. If everybody ran to the bank to pull out cash all at the same time, the bank wouldn't have enough in order to do that. Well, Celsius, which is a blockchain version of that, is now facing solvency because they don't have enough to actually give out people's money, or at least that's what it appears. Because as of a few days ago, Celsius actually froze its users out from withdrawing anything from the Celsius network. That has drawn the ire of Washington, D.C. and regulators. Not only that, there are now 4 states that have launched investigations into the blockchain company, including Texas, which is the latest state to join the investigation process. Celsius says they're communicating with regulators. Communicating, that's a very broad term. So in the couple of days and weeks, we'll have to see just how forthcoming they are about what is going on behind the scenes. But let me know in the comment section below if you are following this story, because this, along with the Terra Luna, is supposedly one of the bigger reasons for this recent drawdown. At least that, according to some speculative article that I just read, that I don't think I agree with. But let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so before I move on to what the Ripple versus the SEC case is getting into, I wanted to talk about some of these coins, specifically XRP and Solana, and then of course take a look at what Bitcoin is doing now. So yesterday, the Fed announced that they're going to be raising rates by 3/4 of a point. Well, when they made that happen, Bitcoin shot up about $2,200 in one 15-minute candle. It's one of the biggest moves it's had in. It's one of the biggest moves to the upside that it's had in weeks. Of course, it gave most of that back now. It's been sitting on a big support line at about 20,800 now for most of the day and doesn't seem to be moving. So we're going to see if this is going to continue to the upside. So nonetheless, yesterday it wasn't the only coin that moved. Of course, many of the altcoins moved right along with it when there was that big pump. Solana had a big move. XRP had a big move. Went from 30 cents to 34 cents. And again, gave most of that back. XRP now sitting at about 31 cents. But as you've seen some of the rest of my videos I've been talking about, XRP is actually holding strong. It's one of the top 5 to 10 tokens holding its value over the last couple of weeks compared to most of the altcoins, which are getting continually slaughtered. That along with pretty much every other market. As you can see behind me, most of the other markets are all red. The dollar is dropping, even gold is dropping. The NASDAQ, the Dow, S&P are all red once again. And I expect this to continue for some time. Yesterday was a little bit of a different day because the Fed announcing a rate increase. That typically has some volatile impacts. Yesterday it was a green day. Sometimes it has the opposite effect. But at least temporarily from yesterday, some of the analysts believe that that 0.75% rate hike is not a huge number, and it's actually only going to stabilize things. Well, like I said, at least temporarily. Okay, so what is XRP and Solana doing right now? Well, they're sitting on some major support levels right along with Bitcoin that from some of the analysis that I've been watching, it looks like this could be a big capitulation point. Now, the reason I mentioned Solana is because Solana along with XRP is moving at huge numbers percentage-wise comparatively to Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin moves up a little bit, Solana, XRP, and there are a couple others, move up at dramatically larger paces. And when Bitcoin draws back, some of these drawbacks from these altcoins like Solana and XRP are not nearly as bad. So if you are doing any trading with this, or you are looking into this being a possible low point for these altcoins, you might want to take a look at the volume versus the price increase, and of course the price increase versus what Bitcoin is doing, because those two are looking particularly good at the moment. All right, so now let's get into the Ripple versus the SEC case, because the SEC just filed with this one to Judge Torres, who has a decision to make about what is going to stay sealed and what's going to be public. So the SEC, they've filed their motion along with some of the exhibits against basically an objection for John Deaton and his Amici challenge to the SEC's expert. Now, the SEC doesn't want John Deaton to be an expert or even report on their expert. And in fact, they have some issues that they would like sealed. Now, they basically came to Judge Torres with this, and they said some of this information is already out because of John Deaton, so they are seeking to seal the rest of the information in these exhibits because they don't want it becoming public. Get this, because the SEC says they've been subject, because of John Deaton, they've been subject to harassment and threats from the XRP community. Now, I kind of find that funny, and at the same time, it's not funny, because to me, that just sounds like a big fat excuse. But nonetheless, they're literally saying we need to keep this sealed because John Deaton and the information that he's been talking about has subjected the SEC to threats, to bullying, and to harassment. Clearly, they haven't been on Twitter ever. And regardless of how ridiculous and funny that sounds, they are actually using that as an excuse. And of course, Judge Torres has to take that into consideration. Now, keep in mind, this decision going to Judge Torres, typically, she has responded much quicker. And the last several decisions she's had to make, she's sided with Ripple on things. So we're going to see if this is going to continue. I would like, personally, I think this is actually going to play out in the next couple of days. And so if you want to keep an eye on this story along with all the others that I covered on this video, make sure you subscribe to the Late Night Grind community. You can hit that subscribe button below. Also follow me on Twitter. I'll put a link in the description below. You can follow me there, as well as several other people that are very key to the XRP community that cover the Ripple versus the SEC case. So for the rest of the day, I'm going to be watching some of the charts, specifically what Bitcoin is doing, because it's done a whole lot of nothing for most of the day today as I'm making this recording, but that could change at any moment. Also, this channel is getting closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers, so if you are new to the channel, you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. Also, check out the community tab. I started posting polls again. I started posting polls once again. I used to do it pretty much daily. Now I want to get back into it because some of the storylines that are coming out in the cryptocurrency world are getting very juicy, and I'd love to know what you guys think. So go ahead and check out the community tab and participate in some of those polls. Leave a comment down in the section. Leave a comment in the comment section down below, as well as follow me on Twitter. You can have a more in-depth conversation with me there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.